Now, here's the first thing I want you to understand because it will change everything else that I talk about. Most people are evaluating XRP using the wrong framework. They are looking at the price chart every single day and watching the candles and reading the news and reacting to every comment from every person in this space. And then they're making decisions about what they hold based on what the price did that week. That framework makes sense for a company. It makes zero sense for infrastructure. Let me explain the difference because I think you need to understand this a little more clear so that you can make better decisions in the midst of the chaos that happens week to week. A company is evaluated on quarterly earnings, on growth metrics, on whether the leadership is executing well, on whether the competitors are eating into the market share. The price of the stock reflects the market's opinion about all of those different things at any given moment. Stock prices move every single day because the opinion about the company moves every day. Infrastructure is different. Infrastructure is not evaluated on opinion. It's evaluated on one thing: does it work at scale? Think about the early electric grid for a moment. Throughout the 1880s and 1890s, engineers were laying the wires that would eventually power American homes. While they were doing that work, most homes still ran on gas lamps. The price of electric infrastructure stocks at the time was very volatile. It went up, it went down. There were months and years where it looked like the technology was failing because adoption was slow and the public did not understand what was being built. Nobody at the time stood up and said the electric grid is underperforming. The framework for that statement just did not exist because infrastructure is not evaluated based on whether the public has caught up to it yet. Infrastructure is evaluated on whether the technology works and whether the institutions building on it trusted enough to keep building. Same patterns with railroads, same patterns with the telephone system, same pattern with the early internet. Every major infrastructure technology in modern history went through a period where the surface evaluation looked one way and the actual reality underneath looked completely different. XRP is in that same position right now. The institutions building on the XRP ledger are not making decisions based on the price chart. They're making decisions based on whether the technology solves a real problem at institutional scale. And the answer they keep coming back to is absolutely yes. So when you wake up in the morning and you check the XRP price and it hasn't moved, here's what I need you to remember. That price reflects one thing: the current state of liquidity in the broader market. It does not reflect what is actually being built. It does not reflect institutional adoption. It does not reflect the technology working. It reflects how much capital is flowing into risk assets right now in a tight liquidity environment. The price and the value are two different things during a bear season. They diverge, they move apart from one another. The price reflects current sentiment. The value reflects what is being built underneath. And eventually, those two things have to converge again. They always do. The question is which side of the divergence you are positioned on when the convergence happens.